here's my story.
Yeah, tell me your story.
And it's totally unrelated, but it's hilarious.
All right.
And this just goes to show how Victor and I have a very open relationship when it comes to communication.
All right.
So, this morning I go to pick up my Amazon package that was delivered, and so at my apartment complex there's like a package like room,
okay,
kind of a thing, and you have like a key fob. Yeah, but it's like in its own spot, like it's not in anything else. It's like literally just like a building for like packages, and I get my mail.
Oh, it's a package building.
Yeah, it's a package building. So. And you have to pay to pay.
Do you get the mail there too, or is it strictly
Nope,
packages?
strictly packages.
Wow.
Yeah, I get my mail. There's like a little I don't know.
The mail is actually a separate address.
The mail is literally in its own like gazebo out there. Like it's not even attached to our building.
Your mail sounds like it has a better setup than most New York residents.
It's actually quite equivalent because I haven't gotten the mail in about 2 months, so it's probably all just like shoved in. The mail makes me nervous because there's bills in there.
That's true. I have heard that if you avoid opening the bills, then they won't make you pay. I'll be like, did you pay your bills? And you'll be like, I didn't open it. And they're like, okay. You'll have to open it sooner or later, and then
we'll send you another one just in case.
We'll just keep sending them, and then you'll.
Okay, wait. I have another story about that really quickly because one time I decided not to pay. Did you finish
the first story? You only got to getting to the mailroom.
I know because
right,
this is about mail.
Tangent within the tangent. Let's go.
Yes.
Do it.
So remember my Adderall's like gone at this point.
Yeah, it's gone. We're off the meds. Let's do it.
They were sending me a bill for like a credit card that I decided I wasn't going to pay anymore. Literally was like, no, close the account. I'm not paying this.
Okay. I
still haven't paid a bill. It's been like 2 years. But anyway, so like 2 years ago, they start like sending me mail, and I genuinely wasn't getting it. But like I knew my bill was due because I got like the notifications to my phone every month, and it was like, you still owe us money.
Hey, you.
And so the lady, one day I accidentally answered the phone call from them, which
oh no.
The only reason I answered it is because for work, I had a site that I was managing that had like that area code. So I thought it was
what was the site? Is that a third story?
The site is for work. I manage clinical trial sites across the country.
Gotcha.
I also manage sites in New Zealand and Australia and France and Poland and Canada and all these other countries.
God,
but anyway.
You're so worldly.
I know. So anyway.
Yeah.
So she calls me and she's like, is this the right address for you? Because we keep getting your mail returned here. And it was the right address. So I don't know like what was happening, but for some reason they were returning the bill to sender. And not that it matters because I still haven't paid this bill. But so she knocked off. She was like, oh, since you weren't receiving the mail, I'll just make sure they know this, and I'll cut off I'll get rid of all the late fees and all your back due like balance. And I was like, great. And she was like, okay, just don't forget to make a payment by like this date. I was like, block. Yeah. And then I still haven't paid the bill. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So anyway, so that was morning. That. So this morning, yeah. So anyway, so I go
as you were running through this mail story in your head, as you do every morning on the way to get the mail.
Yep. I kind of. So I go to the package building, and the mailman is sitting on the steps of his mail truck, like looking at the package building's door. Oh. And I was like, I didn't really look at him like at first, like when someone's
was he dreading going in there?
Well, at first I was like, is he gonna kidnap me? Like I just didn't know. Like I'm a crime junkie, I was like, this is where I die. Yeah. So, so I didn't really, when you like don't look at somebody but you like interact with them because they're just like they're doing something. You're just busy. So I'm like talking to him, and he's like, if you can let me into this door, like I'll love you forever. And I was like, that's nice. And I'm like trying to. This was also pre-Adderall this morning.
Like, I'm getting married. I've already got lifelong love.
So no, it was more so that I was just like running through like all the stuff I had to do for the day, and like I'll
love you for the rest of my life. Okay, you too.
So anyway, it's funny because that's kind of where the story's going. Okay. But so I'm trying to get in, and my key fob won't open the door, and he's like, he's like, I hope you don't have anything important in there. And at that point, I turned around to look at him, and this man was gorgeous. Like, this man was like 6'2", like you're tall, dark, handsome. Oh my God, he was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I, in that moment, was thinking, don't tell him that you're going to get your ring box for your wedding. That's it. Because we ordered like the little thing so that the photographer can take a photo of our rings, like in the box. Yeah. So there's like 3 slots in that box, and so I was like, no, nothing important. And then he's like, well, let me check. What's your name? Like, you might have because I did have another package coming, like, and I had told him that. And he's like, well, let me check in the back, because since I can't get in there, I'll just give it to you and mark it as delivered. And I was like, cool. So I give him my name, which I realize is now very sneaky little ploy to get my name. So I give him my name, being stupid. And here, all my crime junkie rules. All my crime junkie rules are right outside. Like, they just go right over my head, because this man is... That
beautiful face just
if
chucked
Ted Bundy,
him out the window.
I mean, I never thought that Ted Bundy was attractive, but if this happened to be like a Ted Bundy type situation, I would have been a victim. Because I looked at this man and I was like, he's safe because he's beautiful. Like, all my rules out the window. So anyway.
I just love the concept of, if this man was a serial killer, he would have gotten me. I would have been got.
He literally would have. But so anyway, so he's like, all right, I'll meet me around back of the mail truck. First, also, like, that wording, now that I'm hearing it back in my own voice, I'm like, that's red flag number 2. Like,
for someone who chronically intakes crime podcasts and crime-based shows, you really just...
It was his looks. Everybody else, hey, like, if you're like mildly attractive, or I'm like, yeah, he's kind of cute, or like whatever, I'm still very suspicious that you're a serial killer. This man, however, at first, since I didn't see him, I was like, potential serial killer. Then I looked at him like, I'm safe. He's handsome. It's all that matters.
All that matters.
So I've learned something through this experience, that I need to still recognize handsome men as threats. But anyway... Yes. So he comes out of the back of this mail truck like a movie. Like, he's holding the top of the mail truck, and he's like so fit. Like, I mean, he's like, this man has probably like an 80-pack. Like, he's like just all muscle, and I'm just like falling in love with this man. Like, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like,
oh, and what was your package for again? And you're like, oh, who can even remember?
He was like, well, so now I'm standing there just staring at him, but also like there was this mutual like feeling that was happening. Like there was this, there's definitely like this like past life, if you believe in that kind of stuff, like thing going on here. And I was just thickens. He was just gorgeous. But so he like starts to close the back of the mail truck, and he's like telling me something, and I'm just thinking about how like I'm getting married next week. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting married next week. Why is this happening to me? This is karma.
That's exactly when. That's exactly what would happen.
He was like still trying to talk to me, but I also had so much shit to do. And when you catch me before my Adderall in the morning, when I'm trying to like plan my day, I start to get anxious about getting stuff done. So I'm like, still being like, I'm in love with this man, but I gotta go. I got stuff to do. Like, I'm starting to freak out a little bit. So anyway, I was like, well, don't work too hard, because what else do you say to someone who's attractive? I was like, I hope you have like a wonderful rest of your day. And John, this man goes, you too, beautiful. Hope to see you again. And I walked away and was like... And I came running in the apartment. I was like, Victor, if I cheat on you with the mailman, I'm so sorry. And
I love that you can just say that to Victor, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, there's this very open... That's how you know it's fine.
And what a testament to him for not being insecure and just being like... I imagine he was just laughing. Like,
he did. He laughed, and I was like... So we have a mutual friend who I'm not going to say his name, because I don't know if he knows how I feel about the way that he looks, but he's beautiful. And Victor is like, will not deny that this is a beautiful man. Like, like he's just... perfect. And I was like, he's even like prettier than this friend of ours. And Victor was like, oh, like I understand. Like, He's like, now I get it. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like,
Victor's
it was
like, oh no, there's nothing you can do.
So we have this ongoing joke about how he'd leave me for Jennifer Love Hewitt. And initially, I would have left him for, like, G-Eazy. Like, we have this one celebrity that we're, like, allowed to leave each other for.
Sure,
yeah. Like, you
Makes
have
sense.
to. And then a couple weeks ago, I was like, all right, G-Eazy be acting up. Like, I don't really know. I don't really know if he's, like, my celebrity that I would leave Victor for anymore. It's just a little too much. So I told him, like, a couple weeks ago, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to change this person who's, like, my celebrity. So yeah. And so then I was like, by the way, my person's no longer a celebrity, it's a mailman.
It's the mailman.
And he was like, well, that's actually kind of scary
That's
because that's like a real
that's a real person.
It's like a realistic, like, that could happen. I was like, listen, I'm just saying, if one of our kids ends up looking a little bit different, you can genuinely blame the mailman. But it's all in good fun, obviously. I would never. But still,
no, of course. It's just amazing that, like, because obviously this is all in jest. This is all, of course. But it's so wonderful that you and Victor have this relationship where you can just, like, express that to each other and it's, there's no insecurity. It's just like you're so secure in your relationship and with each other and with your feelings.
I just have to say about all of that is I feel like that's, like, I agree that that's such, like, a good, like, it's not like this happens, like, all the time, but, like, we're also human beings, and it's not like we're never gonna not find another human being, like, attractive, because there's attractive human beings out there. Like, have you met all the Libras on the face of the planet?
All the Libras out there, listen up.
They're just all attractive.
Yeah, no,
he
it's
was
very
probably
important.
a Libra, let me tell you.
Hey.
I'm gonna call the next time I see the mailman and be like, hey, what's your sign? He'll run.
When's your birthday? Yeah.
What time were you born?
Just out of curiosity, what hospital were you born at?
So anyway, I just had to share that because that was another thing where I was like, you know what, I'm glad neither one of us are insecure about that. Like, and it's not like we go around talking about, like, oh, this person's attractive all the time, you know, but it was like, it was definitely nice.
You don't have to hide. You don't
right,
have to
like,
hide
I literally,
those feelings.
I came running in the apartment and was like, Victor, it's like, the mailman. Have you seen the mailman?
My
he was like,
God.
No, I haven't seen the mailman. I'm like, man, you would have fell in love with him too. I'm telling you, like, it's just.
He's gonna walk into the house one day holding a package, and he's just gonna look you in the eyes and be like, "The ass on that man."
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, that's my story. I had to share it because it was hilarious, and I hope you enjoyed my story. Cool. Okay, are we happy?